trading coupled with social media is probably one of the worst combinations ever.
Yes.
All you see is the wins.
Trading was like a gateway for me into opening my other streams of income. Then I saw the trend about the metal environmentally friendly straws. I saw it trending overseas and I thought I need to hit the market in South Africa quick. And I did it. I did well with that business. I sold it.
Yeah.
And then the good months were very good and the bad months were like, oh crap. If this continues like this, I need to get a job again.
Welcome to the Fair Value Podcast. Today I'm joined by a serial entrepreneur, somebody who is really digging into all of the different ways that you could make money in South Africa and around the world, to be honest. There's some interesting things that he's undertaking at the moment that I think we can talk about as well. He's also a pretty damn good trader. So I'm joined by Hanre Retief, and welcome, bro.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
I think there's a lot of interesting things we can talk about. There's a lot of interesting ways that you've figured out to make money. I mean, you've been doing this for a long time. I mean, I think you're one of those people that are on the same wavelength as me when it comes to, you know, just constantly thinking of everything as a business.
Yeah, keep grinding.
Yeah, I think that it's weird. There's a certain breed of people that's just like, they look at everything around them and all they see is businesses and they're trying to dissect how people make money. I think one of the most interesting things was a video that kind of went viral for you, and that's your vending machine business.
Yeah.
Okay. So Hanre has a vending machine business, and it's a very interesting one. Maybe tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so I started this vending machine business about in May of this year. I researched it for around 4, 5, 6 months on how to do it properly. Because last year I saw a vending machine in Gauteng, a similar type vending machine in Gauteng, and I thought this was a brilliant idea. And I haven't seen one in Cape Town yet. So I thought, why not bring it to Cape Town, put my own spin on it, do my own designs on it. You know, I felt like I could do the vending machine better than the guy who did it in Gauteng. So I brought it here. I spoke to a bunch of owners of clubs because that's the best places to probably put them.
But what's going in the vending machines?
It's vapes.
Okay.
So vapes, and I'm also going to put in a few other stuff that will be on my TikTok soon.
Right. Okay.
So, you know, everything that goes with vapes. So not just the vapes itself. I would put like liquids in. I'm going to do power banks for people whose phones are...
That's a freaking good idea though, because that's one thing. So I, like 4 or 5 years ago, I used to, my thing before I did anything with my life, I worked at a cell phone shop and everybody was like, my phone's dying, can I charge my phone? Or can I buy this power bank off your wall and charge my phone? So I think that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, because people need batteries for their vapes and their phones.
Yeah, exactly.
So I want to target the people who come with vapes that don't want to buy from a machine, but they might need a battery. So they can buy it from the machine and then just plug it in for the night, and then they're fine for the rest of the night.
I mean, they got the shakes kicking in and the real addiction is happening, and they're like, just give me a battery.
And people who drink a little bit more tend to be a bit more lenient with their money.
Yeah.
Especially like, you know, in a club environment, you like spend a little bit more than you should, most people. So it's a perfect place to put a vending machine.
What kind of research went into getting something like that going?
The cost, the market of the people that go there, what type of products do they like smoke?
Yeah.
What is the age of the club?
Do you vape?
Socially.
Okay.
Sometimes, yeah.
But so you know a little bit about it.
Yeah,
so...
I know, and I test the products out because
a
lot of companies come to me and they want to give me vapes to test out because of my TikTok page.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say it's sponsorships, but I would say it's like free deals. And then I'm like, yeah, cool. I mean, if you send it to me, I'll test it, and if I like it and the people buy it, I will stock you in my machines. So yeah, I need to test the stuff because, you know, if it's crap, then I can't put it in.
But also, like, in terms of figuring out whether it's viable or not, how did you get to the point where you're like, hey, this is actually a really good idea? Is it actually going to be viable? What kind of like research did you do to figure out whether it's going to work or not?
Well, the place I saw in Gauteng, I was there on a Monday and I saw like 3 people going to it and buying from it.
Yeah.
And it was like on a Monday, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So I thought, well, if people buy in the afternoon, they're going to definitely buy it at night. So the places where I put the machines is places that I know very well because I go there as well. And I see people vaping there like all the time. So surely there's a market for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we bought a machine.
Mm-hmm.
You can always change the machine into something else. Like you can sell other products out of it if the machine doesn't work as a vape vending machine. So
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, you can always use it for something else. It's not like the machine is dead afterwards. So I mean, it was a risk we were willing to take.
Yeah.
Put it in, and it went super well the first weekend.
Yeah.
We had promo goals there, spin the wheel prizes.
That's smart. That's
so like
really good
giveaways.
marketing.
People won free drinks at the bar if they bought a vape. So our sales were insane that first 2 weekends.
Nice.
So yeah, we just got the people that go there regularly to actually like know the machine is working and they can buy vapes there. So we just get the people used to it, and then after that it just works on its own.
Damn. That's smart.
Money into your bank account every week.
I think especially the fact that you did a launch of the vape vending machine. I think that's also good. And I think it's also a thing of like with vape products, I mean, granted, some of these people are a little bit tipsy anyway, but I think especially with products that you're consuming, people want to like have trust behind them. So I think if they're buying from this machine, how do I know it's legit? And the thing is, there are like pirate vape stuff. So it's like there's fake vape stuff that you can buy that can be like dangerous and not as
good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I just put reputable brands in.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't put random crap in there.
Yeah, but the thing is, I used to kind of work in that industry as well.
Oh, really?
So I know like there's so much fake stuff in that industry. Even if it's the more reputable, actually, the more chance there is of it being replicated. But because it's a Chinese product and Chinese copy Chinese. So yeah. But I think there's a lot of other stuff that we could talk about as well in terms of your businesses, because you've got so many that I would never have even thought of. Like for example, your Uber business. Yeah. How's that going? And like, how did you get into it in the first place?
Actually, funnily enough, this is fresh in my mind still. I trained a client last night on how to run their Uber business, which is funny that you notice it.
But just explain like how it all works and what exactly it is, and then like how it's been going for you.
Yeah, so how my brain works is like when I do stuff in life, I always want to look at what business I can change it into. Like example, I saw the vending machine. I didn't think, oh cool, I'm gonna buy a vape. I thought, how can I replicate this? But same with when you drive with the Uber driver, you talk to them sometimes, right? Most of them say they rent the cars. Have you ever spoken to an Uber driver before?
A little, yeah.
Yeah,
I never found out that they rented them, but that always made sense to me because they always had kind of a nice car.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but how are they affording to buy this car and then drive it?
Yeah. So they most of them rent it, and if they own it, then they rented for a long time before that. So I thought, cool, these guys make consistent money. They're always on the road. Some of them actually showed me how much they make per week. They don't do bad. Most of them, like if they drive in a proper city, in good areas where like there's a lot of people that request lifts, they make quite like okay money. I know people will probably argue with me about that they still get underpaid, which is fair, but they make good money.
So you say that they do actually make money because like I've always wondered like how is it even possible? Because fuel is so expensive.
Yeah, but I mean like a third of the money goes to fuel, I would say.
Yeah, well, at least it's only a third. I thought it would be more like like 3/4 almost.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's not that. No. So the one Uber driver I spoke to, he makes like 10K a week.
Okay.
But obviously he said like 2-3K goes to fuel.
Yes, and then he still has to pay for his car.
Like 2-3K to rent. So he's left with 4K for the week.
Okay.
Which isn't, it's okay. Like they still have money at least to go ahead with the business. Like it's not profitable.
That's not bad.
So
though.
yeah, when I spoke to them, I'm like, cool. Like, so you guys like renting cars? Yeah, we love renting cars because that's how they get into the game. You're actually helping a guy to start their Uber business, and then later on they have enough money to purchase their own car. So I thought, cool, let me buy a car or two and rent it out to them because.
How many cars do you have now? Two. Okay, and so it's just like a consistent income, and like a lot of people will probably be asking, isn't it risky? Like, surely these guys are driving it like they stole it. Surely, man. Like, firstly, the maintenance, and secondly, like, what happens if something happens?
I haven't had any major problems. I feel like if you vet the driver properly beforehand, there's a bunch of steps you need to take to vet the driver, which I can talk about. I'm going to release a TikTok about the pros and cons about having an Uber car soon. So it will be out there. But you need to vet the driver properly to make sure that he's actually a good guy and that he won't steal and stuff. There's a bunch of things you can check, like are they registered with Uber? Do they have a valid driver's license? Where do they live? You know, all those things. So you need to do the background checks and you need to do an interview with the guy and everything. I mean, anyone that employs anyone, there's a risk. Like you can think that on paper that they're good, but sometimes not. So anyone that employs anyone, there's a risk to it. So yeah, I just took the necessary steps that I researched, and I haven't had any major problems yet. There's like the car got hit by a bike once, but it wasn't a big accident, so insurance took care of it. And then yeah, further like there's a lot small things that happen sometimes. They're late on payments or, but it's not like I feel like it's not profitable. Yeah, I went through the books the other day. Like one car makes me like 3K a month. So that's what times 12.
That's really not a bad
40K,
investment.
and then you have to put like, I would say 3-4K aside for insurance, for
maintenance,
and then another 2K for tires once a year. So, you know, it's a nice passive income. It's not a lot, but it's something.
Yeah, but that's the thing. But you say it's not a lot though. It is a lot. If you look at the investment you've made versus what you're getting, yes, you took it's a bit more of a risky investment, but that's just how it is.
Yeah.
But the amount of well, is it really that risky? Not really, because you've got, I mean, the insurance covers pretty much everything. Yeah. So, you know, and the car's tracked as well. So if they run away, then that's on them. But I mean, that's just also like something you would never ever think of. Like it's something that happens behind the scenes that they get into the Uber and they don't realize, like, hey, like this guy had to get this car. How did he get this car? And that's what I've always, to be honest, that wasn't the first time I had come across that. I was like, I got in the Uber and I'm like, how are these guys? And this has always been something I wondered. How are these guys getting these cars? Because to get finance for a car, and they have to be a newer kind of car. It's not, they can't just drive like
for Uber, it needs to be past 2017, I think now.
Yeah. I mean, you can't just drive like a beat up car.
But they can also drive on Bolt, which is fine.
Yeah.
The older cars can go on Bolt.
Yeah.
So some of them do both. They drive on Bolt and Uber because then they have double the
there's
people
more
coming
customers,
in for
more customers.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Like, I think there's just so many different opportunities.
I think it's so many.
I think it's also like if you look at like Gary V, like he literally just yard sailing, and there's so many different ways to make money. And I think that if you're not, there's just like no real excuse. There's so many different. You just have to be willing to take the risk, really. And certain people just aren't willing to take the risk. They just want to go to their work and.
But I mean, I understand if you're like really financially tight, don't take risks like this.
Oh yeah, 100%. But there are ways to mitigate your risks while you take other calculated risks. How was it for you, like starting out? Like you weren't always like an entrepreneur right from the beginning. What was kind of like your motivation to get into it, and what was it like before you started all your businesses and before you started trading as well?
Yeah, so I worked as an engineer. I studied at Stellenbosch and then I worked as an engineer, but I don't know, I didn't enjoy the office life that much, working for a boss and all the classic cliche stuff. Didn't like it. I was always busy looking at other things on the side. And then I saw the trend about the metal straws, the environmentally friendly straws. I saw it trending overseas and I thought I need to hit the market in South Africa quick before it gets too big here. And I did it. I did well with that business. I sold it for a nice amount. I think I made like between 100 and 200K profit on that business in like less than 18 months. I mean, for a guy that just came out of varsity, it's not bad.
Yeah, well, to start a business and it be profitable right away.
And then sell it. It was weird selling a business, I must admit. Like you can't think that this intangible thing you can sell it for money, because it's like just this thing.
I recently went through that as well. It's crazy, it's weird, but it's also just, it's essentially you buying the work that somebody else has put in,
virtual work almost.
Exactly. It's weird. It's buying something that just is fresh air kind of, but it's the idea of something. It's weird. And then like how did you branch off? I think your trading played a pretty pivotal role in you being able to branch off from working a normal like 9-to-5 job, right?
After selling that company, I was introduced into Forex trading by friends. didn't do well at the start. I joined all this random ass signal groups that people have, and I didn't understand what I was doing when I sold or bought or whatever. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just following, and I couldn't understand why, like, the signal providers were always hitting profit and I'm not, or all the things like, you can take your profit earlier. I didn't know that stuff. You put your TP in and you put your trade in and you hope for the best. So that didn't go well. So then I was put off a little bit. And then later on, I picked up again when I did a course in trading and I actually got better at it. And then, in COVID time, when everyone was at home, I got better at trading and then made a nice amount of money. And I used that money to open all my businesses that I have now. So trading was like a gateway for me into opening my other streams of income.
Yeah.
Still trade today. Like I still trade, but it's like another business. I handle it as another stream, if that makes sense. It's not my main thing, but it's not one of my smallest things, but it's one of my legs of my business. So
I think diversification is key, really.
Yeah.
I think, but not just that, if you are a trader, you have to have other businesses, because if you're placing all of your pressure on yourself to earn from
Just
this
trading.
one thing,
yeah,
you're going to be screwed, because newsflash, traders aren't always profitable.
no.
They're not always profitable every day. They're not profitable necessarily every week. They're not even profitable necessarily every month.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. I had to learn that early on as well, and that was also, that was a mind-blowing moment for me. When you quit your job and trading is all you have,
The
that's
psychology is insane. Like you need to have steel.
exactly big cojones.
Where if you have other streams of income, then you're like a lot more relaxed.
Exactly. But also it's a thing of like, sometimes you don't fully know what you're getting into, especially those people that are like, I'm just going to quit my job and trade full time. I made my first withdrawal. I'm looking up Lamborghinis.
No, don't make that mistake.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. But also, like, in terms of trading, I think there's different kinds of people. So there's different people that they do well in trading, they're profitable, but they immediately want to diversify and split up their incomes into other things. Whereas there's certain other traders who, yes, they diversify after they become profitable, but they still focus on trading as like their main thing, and they scale it a lot.
Yeah.
But the way I see it is, I feel like I'm actually kind of like the first person, because I'm not really that keen on trading for my whole life, because it's stressful. Trading's not easy.
Stressful.
Yeah. How did you deal with? Because firstly, you made good money, and you obviously you invested it with your trading as well. Surely that was the thing for me, like making money and then putting it into this account that I could lose.
Yeah.
Surely, like, how did you deal with like that psychological element?
So are you talking about like
Making the money
and then
and then risking it?
So I didn't really risk the full amounts that I make. I did make a few stupid mistakes where I like, I'm good now. So my account size went up by like 10 times.
Yeah.
No. Then I realized, oh crap, this is not a good idea.
Yeah.
So from that day, like from 2020, I stay consistent with my account sizes. I trade like 1,000, 2,000 Rand accounts, and I traded until 10K, for example, and then I withdraw. So I would put myself a certain amount of risk per month on trading accounts, and that's what I'm willing to lose. And I have my profit targets. That's what I do. I wouldn't say I risked my whole, like all my profits.
Well, not all, but it's some,
Yeah. I mean, it was stressful. There were a few months that I just did trading.
Yeah.
And then the good months were very good, and the bad months were like, oh crap.
Yeah.
If this continues like this, I need to get a job again. But then I like fell into Takealot, obviously. I like saw that opportunity.
Yeah.
Money was pumped into Takealot because I saw how well it can do there. So then that's where I diversified into all the other things.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing is, the trading space in South Africa is kind of toxic. And I think trading coupled with social media is probably one of the worst combinations ever.
Yes.
Because the nature of social media is literally all you see is the good stuff. All you see is the wins. So when you start having a crap week or a few losing trades, immediately you're like, I'm doing something wrong. I need to change what I'm doing. But that's obviously not how it works. With trading, that's normal. It's normal to have a bad period as long as you are profitable overall. Like, how did you overcome those periods of like serious drawdown when you're like, oh crap, I need to get it. I need to maybe look at getting a day job again. How did you
luckily
overcome
enough,
that?
I wasn't that close to like actually like doing it,
You were
but
just
you were
like
always
you're
thinking
thinking,
about it.
if it keeps going this way, well, yeah, I'm gonna
I
have to
mean,
say hi to my boss again.
yeah, transparency is very crucial these days. Like what I like about you guys, for example, is that you say that, you know, 60%, 70% profits and 30-40%
Yeah.
losses.
Mm-hmm.
And people who are going to be good traders one day, they like accept, and they don't like go away from you when they see that there are losses. Where people who are not going to be good traders, they like only want to see profits because that's the only thing they want to reach. So I don't know. I just, when I saw that trading, when I realized that trading was a little bit more risky, then I was like, I need to diversify, definitely, because I don't want to lose this money, you know. I don't want to lose it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be seen like as a trading failure, if that makes sense.
Yeah. But that's the thing though. Like, you immediately feel like you failed when you
When
you
you have a
lose like
bad
once, or
account.
even when you've got like a losing streak of two or even
Yeah.
three losses in a row. You're like, I'm doing something wrong. But actually,
Yeah.
you're doing exactly what you should be
As long as
doing.
you risk manage.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But the thing
Fully
is,
agree.
most strategies are going to have two or three losses in a row. It's
Yeah.
just how it is. As long as, you know, you've got a good risk reward ratio, you're good. But the thing is, all you see is blue screens on Instagram. So
Always.
you're like,
And cause.
if I'm not seeing all these blue screens all the time, I'm doing something wrong. So psychologically, you
Yeah,
know,
you're comparing yourself to
it's not
people
working. It's like, I should be able to, like, these guys, it looks like they're basically just
winning.
they're like literally an ATM machine that they've created out of their phone. Why isn't it like that for me? But that's not what it is, and I think
Yeah.
that they create the false expectation. So yeah, I mean, trading's not. And there's a lot of people that come up to me and they're like, "Oh, teach me to trade, please." Like, family, friends, whatever, and I'm like, I don't think you actually want to do this. I don't think you want to get into this.
You need to be a certain type of
do
person.
do something else. But I think there are. I mean, there's lots of other businesses, and trading at the end of the day is just another business.
Yeah.
And
People who
that's how
teach
I
you
see it.
analysis, I respect. That's what you need to look at instead of just signals, in my opinion.
Well, there's so much crap out there, though. I think there's a lot of people that are literally appealing to the dumbest people on earth.
Yeah,
And I was talking about this the other day with Rydell. There's a bunch of people that they price their services around trading lower so that it can appeal to people
To
who
masses,
earn
yeah.
less, who potentially aren't as educated. And that's like, think about how messed up that is. They're literally
Yeah.
preying on people that are less educated, potentially, or in a more desperate position.
Yeah.
So if you're in a desperate position, you're gonna potentially be a lot more willing to just take a chance on something. And it's crazy. They're literally taking like food out of people's mouths. It's really, really messed up.
Yeah.
What do you think about like the state of the scene in South Africa at the moment in terms of trading?
I've seen some horrible stuff. People that got scammed out of money. People promising account management. I don't know if you've seen those ones before.
Yeah.
People that are like crying and desperately want their money back and stuff.
Yeah.
So no, it's definitely. I think you need to tell your clientele or people that want to join you that, listen, don't make this your last money.
Yeah.
This needs to be money that you're willing to risk. And also put in the time first with education before just jumping into this. Like really, please. Just.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question quickly. What's your opinion on trading bots?
You've got a very, very good chance of not making money when you buy a bot.
Yeah.
You're not. Let me put it this way: if you're buying a bot that's gonna make you money continuously without blowing your account, think about how valuable that is.
Yeah, it's
Think
a bit
about
it's a bit unrealistic almost.
that is literally the idea of an unlimited money machine. So you really think that somebody's going to sell you an unlimited money machine for a few $100s?
Yeah.
I don't think so. That to me
That's something
sounds
that needs
like
to be in Wall Street,
a
secretly
scam.
hidden.
Yes. But that being said, these people realize that, hey, if I want people to buy if I want to make people believe that this is valuable, I can't be charging a few $100s. So they charge a few
They
thousand
do. They
dollars.
do.
And people pay it because they're like, okay, this is more believable
Because it's more
actually.
valuable.
Because if this is this, then surely even $3,000 or $4,000, which is a lot of money, is worth it because I can make this in a few weeks, few months. Why not? And they do it. And the thing is, there's a lot of reputable people. Well, people with bigger influence. I won't say reputable, that are marketing these products because it's an easy buck. It's like the fastest money grab. But what they don't
Yeah.
realize is that they're literally just trading their reputation for money. Then after that, your reputation's going to be screwed.
Yeah, as soon as all those people blown accounts, they're never going to trust you again.
Yeah, and the other thing is that these people continue to release bots. So it's like,
Updated.
but if the
and
first
new
one
names.
worked, then why do you need a new one?
Yeah.
It was an interesting thing that I heard the other day. They're saying if somebody's promising to make you a millionaire, they're the person who's trying to make a millionaire out of you. They're trying to become a millionaire
From you.
So it's always that's just the rule. If somebody's promising to make you rich, they're the one who's actually getting rich off of you.
Yeah.
Always. That's just like the rule. Okay. Because if they were so rich, why would they want to share it with you? Okay. It doesn't make sense. And I think that also blows down to the fact that there's all these people that are trying to like mentor people, and they're like trading their time for like a few pennies that they get paid.
Yeah.
And it's like, but if you're so good at trading, why on earth would you be valuing your time so cheaply? It doesn't make sense. I think that that's pretty much what the industry boils down to nowadays. What's your opinion on like on courses and like people that are selling education? Like, what's the best way for people to go about looking for education on trading?
Wow. I would say I think you need to first do the free route and go and watch all the YouTube videos and then decide on something that you like for example ICT or whatever. And then if you like that route and you feel like you can trade that way and it's your style, then I don't have a problem with finding someone that shows the proof that they're not just there to make money off you. They show you the true side of trading, the winning, the losing. They actually want to just simplify things, make it quicker for you to learn. Then sure, then you can get a course from someone that knows what they're doing. But don't just jump on the train of just seeing blue screens and joining those people. I don't think it's going to work.
I think,
but I've bought courses and I'm happy.
Yeah, exactly.
I've done the YouTube route and I'm happy. So why not do both? I mean, the more you learn, the better. But just make sure of the source. Yeah.
I think as well, like, it's just trial and error. Like, seriously, I think all of us to some degree on the journey's been like scammed to some degree. I think there's a lot of people that have just bought like crap, and you learn from that. You're like, next time I buy something, I'm going to make sure it has this, this, and this. And I think that that's important. And I mean, I've been through so many courses. It's not even like so many courses.
And
like
I've bought a bot that
I bought a few bots.
didn't
Everybody's
work.
bought bots. You just like, it's kind of boils down to like, it's almost like a lottery ticket, basically. The human mind doesn't think about things statistically. We don't think about the numbers, essentially. All we think about is like, hey, there's a 1% chance that this could be the thing. And I think I'm going to be that person. It's like, no, you're not. Statistically, you're just not. Why are you even bothering? Go do something that's more worthwhile. It's interesting. Like, I think the human psychology is what's mainly the cause of people like just struggling so hard with getting good information. I was talking about it the other day, but the South African industry itself, really, really toxic. Who do you blame for the people? do you blame the people that are selling the crap that people are buying, or do you blame the mentality of the people that are falling for the stuff
Am
that's
I allowed to
selling?
blame our country's education system?
Whichever. Well, that's kind of the mentality is a symptom of, I guess,
Yeah.
the education
No, I just
system.
think that we're not taught in school how to work with money.
Mm,
You do accounting like
mm,
as a subject. Maybe some people do it as a subject, but I don't feel like you're taught how to like save money, how to invest it, how
mm,
to retire, how to do a retirement fund, how to do taxes. If you learn how to work with money, then you won't do stupid shit with it.
mm.
So I feel like that's the root probably is from like young age going up, and then if you're living in poor conditions, you're more desperate because then you also don't probably know how to work with money, and then you're willing to give money to people who promise things, and
Mm,
then yeah, it's downhill from there.
mm. I think as well the actual regulatory bodies that are in South Africa are to some degree responsible, because there's a lot more wiggle room for people to do these kinds of like, oh, I'm going to take investments. I'm going to
Yeah, that's illegal, eh?
it's
You're
what
not allowed to
yeah,
take people's money and
of
trade with
course,
it.
but there's so much more wiggle room here. For example, if you
Yeah.
go to America now and you try and do the exact same kind of investment scheme there,
Yeah, you go
immediately
to
you're going to get cracked down on. So the SEC is going to come after you.
yeah,
Whereas here, we got other stuff to deal with. Like,
like load
the
shedding.
interesting thing is, because I was talking to Rydell about this the other day, a lot of these people that are from overseas literally come to countries like South Africa, Nigeria, all of these different countries, because there's so much more wiggle room. We were talking about a few different people who literally, like, what are you doing in a third world country right now if you're so rich? Like, why are you selling your products here of all places?
Yeah,
But it's because
no
they can get
policing.
away with murder here, and the government's just like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, we're doing our
There's
own
like a
crimes.
1% chance you'll be caught.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I mean, there's people. Yeah, I mean, yeah. We won't even get into the the state of the country's
Yeah. So
security and actual infrastructure. But anyway,
what's your take or method or opinion on like how a person should start their trading journey then? Like
different.
if you're
mm,
really like if you know this person is serious about it, not just someone who wants to make money quick.
Different people have different ways of going about it. Some people learn better through trial and error, and other people are very regimented. So they need to know, they need to be told exactly what to do, how to do it, where to do it. So for the first kind of person, who's a person that kind of just wants to freestyle it, they need to learn by failing, and they need to learn by, I mean, there's always going to be an element of failure to trading, but some people really need to learn by failure and need to, they're a bit more emotional in their approach. They're maybe not even that well suited to becoming a trader, and those kinds of people, they need to really smash their head against the wall a ton of times. They need to go to the signal providers for a long time before they realize, hey, signal's not working. Psychologically, I'm not ready to trade. And I can't just take somebody else's analysis and trade it
Yeah,
blindly
blindly.
without knowing why they're taking these trades. I mean, that's really a no brainer. But your brain doesn't think that way, right? You're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm going to make it. But then the other person is sensible about it, and they're like, okay, I'm going to join a community and stick with it for 6 months, 12 months, which is probably the better way to go. Um, they're going to, learn, regardless of if it's necessarily the best for them or not. They're going to learn about a lot about it, and they're going to, take away as much information from it as possible. Perhaps they move to another community after that that's more suited to them, but they've taken in so much, and because they're in a community where they've been given steps on, this is the mindset you need to have, this is the, this is the strategy, this is how you implement it.
Yeah.
So there's different people, and they're going to go down different routes. I went down the first one. I just smashed my head against the wall for like 4 years until something stuck, and then eventually I went the second route. You have to go through the first thing of just really basically being a degenerate gambler before you get to the point of,
True.
hey, I'm going to do something a little bit different to these degenerate gamblers and actually do something properly with a statistical edge. And work on my self-development and psychological development and create something that actually works.
To be honest, I haven't actually met someone that haven't made a lot of mistakes when they started. No one's perfect at the start.
But some people make a lot more mistakes than others.
But that's emotions, though, I think.
Exactly. But that's the thing. It's different types of people. Some people are a lot less suited to becoming traders, and they're going to take a lot longer to get over all of the crap. That was me. I was the worst person to ever decide to become a trader. So it took me literally most of the time that I was, learning, going through the process was just me trying to stop being a degenerate gambler and actually do something that is the right way, essentially. Go and join a community where you're learning the right way to trade.
Yeah.
And obviously there are people that just learn directly from YouTube and they have the discipline to, without being told what to do, they can implement their plan, create a plan, stick to it. And I think that's probably the type of trader you are.
I must say I like a community though, especially at the start. It's quite nice being with people that's on the same level as you, and they might talk you out of a bad trade and they might join you in a good trade. So it's nice to not be alone, especially at the start.
It depends though. I mean, if you're in a community where everybody's doing the same thing, yes. But if it's just a group of people that are trading, everybody's like, so there's different people and those different people all have shiny object syndrome. So it's now suddenly this guy's doing this thing. Oh, maybe I should try that.
Oh, yeah,
this guy's doing this thing.
Yeah.
Maybe I should try that. It's working for him. And then
it's too much. Yeah.
Then you're prolonging that process so much longer.
So you need to kind of not police it, but if people come up with too many different ways, the people who are very gullible for the ways are going to try everything and then mess up completely. Wow, that's a good point.
I want to shift to something else. When you started this entrepreneurial journey, not just trading, what is your kind of end goal? What do you want to achieve? What's your motivation in the end? Because like I said, when you start, you have to have a motivation to go through all of the crap you go through. Otherwise, you're just going to give up. What is that thing you were always looking to achieve?
Like for my life? Or for money?
Not just for your life, but what's the vision you see? So what do you want to, have a big house, have the car? Do you want to travel? What's the main?
Yeah. So
or you just looking to not have to worry about money again? What?
Basically.
Yeah.
So my main, I haven't really thought about this specifically, but I would say my main goal is to be able to be retired. Obviously still have my businesses and work on it 2 hours a day maybe or something, but I want money coming in from different angles without much work, and then just enjoying my life, living with my family one day and traveling and everything. But obviously having to get all those streams of income solidly coming in every month, you need to work hard now. So everyone always thinks that they can just click a button and then money will start flowing in and then they can just get the money. But no, you have to put in at least a few years' time.
Do you truly believe in the concept of passive income?
Not fully 100%. Nothing's 100% passive, except maybe crypto mining was a few years ago.
But you still have to do some maintenance on that stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, true. But I mean, if you can pay someone to do it, then you don't have any time.
But I think if you think about it this way, the more risky the investment, the more passive it could potentially be. I feel for example, crypto mining to some degree can.
I've watched a guy talk about crypto mining and he said his definition of passive income was that.
Well, I mean, it kind of is.
Because you literally push a button and you leave it.
Yeah.
But with load shedding.
Yeah, that's the
Is
thing.
it passive now in South Africa? But I mean, I mean, that's actually the definition. And then also probably renting out houses. You can then employ an agent to make sure everything is fine. So you don't have to do anything. But sure, there might be times oh, you're the owner. You need to go check on this big problem. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, 1 or 2 hours a month. Are you going to die from it?
No.
Probably not.
No.
So, yeah.
So it's kind of like a myth, but I think there's I think there's a spectrum of passiveness.
Yeah. There's a spectrum. It's a scale, like of
Yeah.
100%, like 0 to 100, where
Yeah.
your day job where you work 8 hours a day, that's 0.
Yes.
And then, like renting out houses and stuff is
Yeah.
probably 90, 95.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I mean, we as entrepreneurs enjoy still putting in time to these things. Like that's why we love it, you know.
So you as an investor in a lot of different businesses, do you think you'll ever invest in property? What's your thoughts on that?
Yes. Hopefully end of this year.
How would you go about it? Would you try to put down as much as you could on a
Yeah.
property, or would you be the one to put down as little as possible and just get a tenant in there to pay it off?
I thought about both, and I'll probably start off with big deposits or completely buying it cash. And then later on leveraging those properties to get more at a lower deposit rate.
Because I've also thought about it from a lot of different directions.
Yeah, so I'm going to probably start off with a bigger investment and then next property less.
Why not multiple properties and try to leverage your credit as much as possible?
I don't know. The banks are very iffy with businesses. I don't know if you've tried that before. They are very, very hesitant on giving big loans to businesses, even though we are turning over a lot. They still super hesitant. Like you need to be open a certain amount of years, and then after that they check other things, and you need to give them like reports from your accountant.
But I mean, you could also, because I've been through that whole thing recently, but you could also just use your personal name and say that you are employed by your company to some degree.
Yes, but they check the company that you're employed by.
That's also true. Yes. I guess there's different levels to it, but if in an ideal world, in terms of property investing, what I would do is invest as little as possible into the property, have as many as possible. Well, you're going to have to build your credit firstly. So there's a lot of different ways you can do that. But basically, the more credit you have, the more money you can make.
Yeah.
I think it's like you obviously know Robert Kiyosaki stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Use the banks to your leverage.
Yes.
You'll leverage the banks.
Well, he's like, I'm a billionaire in debt. Like, he's literally got billions of dollars of debt, but that's what makes him money.
Yeah.
And that's
Cash
why
flow,
and that's why he doesn't pay tax, because all of the money.
Yeah, but that's what Trump also did with his properties.
Yeah.
Doesn't pay tax because of all the
but that's the thing. We're in a society now where if you're smart, you're punished for it. If you do things smartly, they're like, oh, but you're trying to get out of paying tax. Like, no, I just did it.
Yeah, but the company that's giving you the loan, they need to pay more tax.
Yeah, exactly.
So someone is paying more and someone's paying less. That's how it works.
Exactly. But that's the thing. At the end of the day, it's like trading. Like, it's literally the transfer of wealth from dumb people to slightly smarter people. That's all it really is.
Yeah. Some people might not like that statement, but it is true.
It really is. It's the hard truth. Unfortunately, yes, some people might not like it. If you had to start today
with nothing,
with zero, what is nothing?
It's a simple answer. If I have nothing and I need to start now.
You had an internet connection and a laptop. What is it that you would start off doing, like, today?
Okay, firstly, I would get a job.
Okay.
To save money.
Okay.
I know it's a stupid answer. Well, not a stupid answer. It's a boring answer. But then I will, at night or in weekends, I will work on probably on affiliate marketing.
Let's say you had a job and it's a very entry level job.
Average job. Like,
yes, it's enough to pay for your laptop and your internet connection, and maybe a little bit extra to potentially, you can maybe
like
use it for some like education. Like, you can invest it into yourself and self-development potentially, or whatever else you want to. What would you do given those circumstances?
Wow. We'll ask for a raise. No, I'm joking. No, I would probably, like how I'm doing things at the moment and where I'm seeing my income coming from, I'd probably invest in affiliate marketing at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
That's doing insanely well. And there's so many free methods to do affiliate marketing with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you do affiliate marketing. I do affiliate marketing. We'll do affiliate marketing.
But how do
and
you build up the influence to be able to
Luckily,
have
with
affiliate marketing?
zero time, well, with zero money, you have a lot
Mhm.
of time to build a following.
Mm-hmm.
So pick a niche that you're good in and just build a following, and
Mm.
then affiliate through that. Otherwise, there is other methods to do affiliate marketing with that you don't need a following.
Mm-hmm.
So like building landing pages and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'll probably go into that route and then try and save up and then start e-commerce like a Takealot store or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, Amazon store, whatever. And then um, at the moment, I'm quite liking the idea of the prop firm challenges because
Mm-hmm.
you can only buy the challenge for an amount that's fixed. You're paying
Exactly.
that amount for a prop firm challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And if you lose it, you just lost that amount. It's not like trading your 10K account, 5K account and losing that and then panicking. You can buy a prop firm challenge for like what, $50?
Mm-hmm.
Buy that. I mean,
Mm.
that's a test to see if you're good enough at trading. If you fail that, go back to the drawing board and
The leverage on
yeah.
it is just insane. But it's also the reason I think it just clicked with me in terms of prop firm trading is that they give you very clear parameters on this is what you need to achieve. This is what you don't want to do. Do this, and we'll give you the money to trade.
Yeah.
Easy. And then once you've got, but
Rules.
the tricky thing is once you get the money to trade, then what are you going to do with it? When are you going to take your withdrawals? When are you going to get your refund back? And that's when people struggle. And that's why there's a high-ish percentage of people that actually do get funded. I think it's not as little as you would think because you'd think barely anybody does. But it's like, I think it's like
20% or something.
maybe 10-15%, which sounds low, but it's actually quite high.
It's 1 in 10. 1, 2, 2.
You would think that, okay, so now they're funded, surely they're going to make some money.
Not
The
always.
percentage of those people
You fail
that
then.
actually get the withdrawal is minuscule. So the people that's obviously the most important part is getting your refund back of the fee and then making money.
Why don't they give the refund immediately?
You don't get the refund immediately. You only get the refund if you secure your first withdrawal.
Oh, okay.
Because obviously that's when you tested the most. That's when the greed sets in the most. Hey,
I'm good enough now. Let's go YOLO and then trade with that.
Exactly.
big
It's the
account.
most risky and crucial part. It's like, that's why I keep saying they don't actually have two different phases. It's 3 phases. The third phase is the funded phase where you've got the funded account. You don't actually have jack all. You're waiting for your refund and you're waiting for your profit. That's why I say secure. And that's why they give you this 30 days till that you have to wait. So when you get funded, you've got the account for 30 days. What are you going to do with it? Probably blow it because you're going to get greedy within those 30 days.
The ball's in your court. We probably need to make like $500 or $1,000 and then just wait.
Exactly. I mean, but that's exactly what I say. Make 1%, maybe 2% if you're feeling ballsy, and then just wait. But people don't do that. They make the 1%, the 2%. Okay, I'm gonna wait. A week goes by.
My hands are itching.
A week goes by, and they're like, oh, but maybe just one more trade, and suddenly, boom, account's dead. So I've seen it happen. It happened to me actually the first time I got funded. That exact scenario happened. I'm like, oh, I'm so rich. I made so much money now.
Wow.
And then I blew the whole account like a week later when I decided just one more trade. And then something happens, news happens, slippage happens, and your whole account is gone. So yeah, it's a different story. If you've got that back, you've made some profit on it. Maybe you've made 2 withdrawals on that account. Then maybe you can go YOLO. I've done that.
Yeah.
And I've made a lot of money, but I've also blown a lot of accounts doing that. But I also don't care because I had already made money on that account.
That's actually smart. So let's say you have a $10,000 account and you make like 2,000. Then why not YOLO the second month? Right? Is that what you're saying?
Well, making $2,000 on a $10,000.
That's 20%.
Oh, but you mean over a period. So here's my exact prop firm strategy. So this is what I've developed, but this is for people that have the backup money. This is for people that have a cushion. You've got a cushion to catch you, but also you've got
high risk traders with money.
Yes, but also you've got other accounts as well. It's not your only account.
Yeah.
So what you do, you get the accounts, you pass it, try and get it. So I try and pass 2 accounts at the same time. Okay.
Do you ever link accounts to each other?
I used to, but I don't do it as much anymore because of this. I'll explain it to you because you can leverage this.
Yeah.
It's like I'll explain it to you now. It's almost like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? As you're going up the ranks, it gets more risky, right? Because you've made a whole bunch of money, but it's not banked.
Because you haven't withdrawn it yet.
Because at any moment, you could get something wrong and lose everything, but there's different safety nets, okay?
Oh, okay.
So what this does, when you've got two different accounts, it's like having a safety net, because you can make money on the one account and just leave it, trade the other account, wait for withdrawal on this account, trade the other account, withdrawal comes through on this account, maybe I've made some profit on this account, take the money here, or wait for this withdrawal, trade the other account now.
Okay, so it's to keep your itchy fingers busy.
Exactly.
Basically.
But also, the thing is, once you've got this done, you can be a lot more aggressive because you're splitting your risk. So, for example, if I've got two 100K accounts, and I've withdrawn already and gotten my refund. So at the beginning, you're a little bit more risk averse.
You got your money back.
You make maybe 1 or 2%. I'm happy with my couple $1,000s. I've taken it back. I've gotten my refund back. I'm break even. I'm not break even. I'm in the green, and I'm risk free. So, and I've got this other account. So you can trade this other account or maybe two other accounts a lot more conservatively, risk 0.5%, 1%. But then you've got this high risk account. This high risk account, you risk 3%, 4%, whatever. If it's a 5% max, keep 4%. So this is what I did. I had two 200K accounts. I risked 4% on the 200K account.
Yeah.
It's a 1 to 2 risk reward trade. So, I kind of chickened out on it, but I made essentially 6% on that trade. So I made about 1.5 risk reward.
Should have made 8.
So yeah, it was about $12,000,
Nice.
which is that was like, this was the life-changing thing for me. But because I had another 200K plus another 200K, so I had that was my 600K funding.
Yeah, well done.
And I hit the 12K on the one, and then I'm like, okay, I can leave this now and wait for withdrawal. Cool. Like, it's guaranteed now. I'm not going to touch it. I go to the other account, and I'm like, okay, now I can do the same thing. So I risk 3% on that account, and now I'm aiming again for 5-6%. I take a loss. The account's down like 3.5% with spreads.
But you just wait for that day to go past.
Wait for the day to go past. I do the same thing again. Then I hit the win on it. Now suddenly,
you're like 1% in profit.
Now suddenly, because I've risked 3% and I got a 1 to 2. So now I'm up 3%. And that's just how I got another $6,000 withdrawal on that. I then kept doing that on both those accounts. And then I had my third account, which was just like low risk. I was just taking,
like 1%,
letting it tick by. Yeah. Then I redid it. I withdrew, and then I redid it. And this time I was even more risky. I was like 4% on both. I made a withdrawal on one, and the other one I completely blew. And I was okay with it. I really didn't care. And then after that, I did the same thing. I ended up losing both of those accounts. But by the time I had lost those accounts, I'd already made about $25,000-$30,000. I didn't give a crap.
Yeah, and you got your refund.
Yes, and then now, of course, you've obviously got the capital back to get more accounts. Yes, it's going to take me a couple of months, but I don't really care. I made enough, and that's just. And I mean, obviously, that's on a bigger scale, but you can do this on any scale, and that's why I also say, people that are getting into funding, I just made like a short on it. Sorry, I know I'm talking a lot, but this is what I'm passionate about.
Very interesting.
What I recommend, obviously, this is only if you've got a strategy that's profitable, you've tested it, and it's got data behind it. Get people like save for like 6 months and then buy a challenge that's like 100K or 200K, and you're like, they put so much pressure on themselves to pass this thing, one account. It's the stupidest thing you've ever done.
Why not start small and
start
scale up?
Small, but go for an account specifically that you can afford to buy every single month, because then every month I'm just going to keep trying to pass. And yes, I mean, obviously if you for 4 or 5 months you keep failing, then something's wrong. But failing once or twice is normal. It's totally normal, especially if you're being more aggressive. But you won't find yourself being that aggressive because you know, hey, I've got more chances. Let me just let this play out. If you go into drawdown, you don't really care. Let me just let this play out. I will have another chance to do it because I budgeted for this.
Yeah.
And that's my whole mentality about it. You will eventually be successful if you do that. But nobody thinks that way, and that's why majority won't make it.
Yeah, I mean,
They don't have the discipline.
If you bought an account for $100 and you would have traded that $100 and lost it anyway, might as well try it with a prop firm account, right?
Yeah.
Or do you think people need to trade normal accounts as well?
Well, I was never profitable with normal accounts. I can't. That's why I say I need the rules. I needed the prop firm rules to switch my mentality to.
It's actually true. They force you in a
managing.
certain way of thinking.
The thing is,
which is great. The percentages.
Normal brokerage accounts forces you to think I'm going to flip accounts.
Well, that's what I do.
But that's the thing. I admire
but that's
that.
my risk. Though.
I can't do that. So my friend Jamie as well. That's all they do. He never traded prop firms and he makes a ton of money. But I could never do that. My brain can't comprehend. It's just too risky, and the risk puts my brain into like full-on gambling mode, and I'm not going to make any money. Whereas prop firms puts my brain into like, these are the rules. You stick to the rules, and you'll be fine. And also the leverage, though, like you say, like $50 can get you like if you're looking at like promotions and discounts and stuff, you could potentially get a $10,000 account. And I mean, like with that $10,000 account will get you $100,000 account with what you make, and once you go 6 figures, then then the world's really your oyster. You can getting to 7 figures is easy, even potentially.
So do you use the profit you make from the smaller accounts to buy a more expensive account, or do you use that refund fee to buy?
No, I use both.
So you add them together.
Technically I will just, the refund fee I take straight back, okay? And then I use the profit to scale up.
Okay, profit, yeah.
But I will only scale up if it's... So I will try and jump as far as I can. Your goal in the beginning is to get to 6 figures as quickly as you can, because that's when things really start to make a difference.
Yeah.
But once you get to the 6 figures phase, that's when you need to start paying yourself, because you can't just keep reinvesting everything. Right, that's just not sustainable. That's verging on just like gambling. If you lose all of that and you lose the account, then what's the point? You need to take the profit when you can. But in my eyes, there's no point of doing that until you get to that 6-figure phase. And from there, it's like if you can trade 6 figures, you can trade $500,000. You can trade $1 million, and it's okay. $1 million, things start to shift a little bit, but it's all the same thing. But also that's why trading separate accounts psychologically is also better. The numbers stay small, smaller. It just depends, but diversifying your risk across trades, and I see so many more people doing this. The biggest prop firm traders do this. Always they've got multiple accounts that they're more risky on their trades, but they diversify the risk between different accounts.
Smart.
Quickly, I want to jump back over to e-commerce. So you've got pretty big like e-commerce businesses. So you run on Takealot, which is basically the same as Amazon but in South Africa. And it's almost like Amazon FBA. How do you manage such a huge product portfolio and keep things running? Because
keeps me busy.
So what a lot of people don't know is that Hanre inspired me and kind of taught me how to do the exact business that he specializes in, which is Takealot, and fulfilling orders through Takealot and having an e-commerce business like that. And I've learned a ton of stuff from this guy. But I want to know from you, and that's why I'm going to grill you now on this so that I can learn some stuff. How do you manage having so many different products that are selling? How many products are you selling at the moment?
Like, at the moment, like 20 to 30.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was more than that.
It was more, but I'm trying to...
But you're doing more high-ticket items.
I'm niching down to more high-ticket items. Yeah. Like... I'm tired of selling 200 of one item that's making me 50 Rand. I'm trying to sell 50 of one item that's making me 500 Rand.
I've also found that. I think that, I'm starting to find a couple of products now that are selling well at a good price point. But the thing is, the risk is higher. If you've got,
It is, but that's why you scale. I mean, you
mhm,
start small and you move up.
mhm. Is it a kind of, is that business model something you would suggest to somebody who's got like lower capital, or somebody who's like starting out, or is it more something for if you've got, you know, some money to invest?
I suggest it to someone that has 5 hours a week
Mm,
free and they have some capital that they want to
mm,
invest. Yeah.
mm,
So something that they're not too fond of, money that they're not too
mm,
fond of, but the chance of you actually losing that money
mm,
completely,
mm,
very small. Like you have to buy a crap product to
mm.
lose that money. But yeah, that's what I help people with, obviously, is not making those
Yeah.
mistakes. But I really recommend it at the moment.
Mm,
It's a great model, especially with Amazon coming. If you on Takealot and you know how Takealot works and you like good with
mm,
that process, then you can just switch it over to Amazon as well.
mm.
Then you're on both platforms.
What do you think about Amazon coming? Do you think it's going to be a problem for the people selling on Takealot? Do you think it's going to be a problem, firstly, also for Takealot itself?
It's going to be good competition for Takealot.
Okay.
I think I've spoken to people at Takealot, and I think that Takealot has a lot of things already in place, which is going to be difficult for Amazon to replicate,
Mm-hmm.
like distribution, knowing how the country works,
Mm-hmm.
courier services, the labor laws, all that
Yeah.
stuff that Takealot already sorted out. I mean, Takealot has their own like courier service,
Yeah.
Mr. D and their own Takealot
Yeah.
delivery team. There's a reason why they're doing that.
Yeah.
Amazon is going to have a year or two of struggling to figure that out,
Mm-hmm.
unless they get all the Takealot staff
Mm.
over that did all that things with Takealot.
Who
But
knows?
they might
Jeff
be poaching.
Bezos is
They might
he's
be
a
poaching.
ruthless dude.
Yeah, they might be poaching, so you never know. But I think it's going to be healthy competition. I think it's going to be good for the sellers because they're going to bring fees down
Mm-hmm.
because they need to compete against the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Takealot fees are quite high. It's not killing. It's not like, not. I don't know what's your opinion on it, but it's not bad. It's not. I'm still making good profit,
Yeah.
but it is irritating. But I mean, you would have still paid that money for marketing, for
Mm.
couriering your products if you had your own website. So I feel like that's my marketing
Mm.
money and my courier fees and my website fees.
Mm.
That
It's the
now I don't have to
traffic.
pay that.
It's the traffic and all of the fulfillment
that's
stuff that they do for you, really.
which is nice. Yeah,
I think that there's a lot of benefits to it. It is really expensive. The fees on Takealot are pretty killer,
like
but it's not something
20%,
you
yeah.
can't work on or work with. And it's a great business model. Like
Yeah.
I've been investing more into it recently.
How's it going?
It's going really well. Like I pretty much, to be honest, I just have my girlfriend run the whole thing, and I'm just like, you can take half of what you make. I'm just like, here's some money, go buy some products, and she's really good.
Do you help her with the products or does she do it on her own?
So she's getting better at it. When I have time, find these products. So for example, I actually just found a really interesting product. I don't have a lot of time to do this stuff, but there's stuff that I want to buy that I'm like, I can't find it anywhere. So I kind of selfishly just like, I'm going to just import it, and then I'll import a few others and just sell it and see if they sell. So what I ended up doing recently, I started selling teleprompters. So teleprompters, like what the people buy, read off on the news and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So the camera goes inside of this box, and it's at a certain angle where it reflects the light of the screen that has your words, and then but it can still see completely through without anything
in the way.
yeah, without anything working. So it works with your iPad or your iPhone, and your iPad or iPhone sits at the bottom, and the teleprompter sits at the top, and the camera goes inside the box. And then
That's cool.
The light is the glass is angled like this, so the camera can look through without it looks totally normal, and you can read like perfectly exactly what's on here. And it has an app, and it just runs through, and it works so well. I bought it just for myself.
And
but
you
then
tasted it and you love it.
I tested it and I use it all the time. And
Wow, that's cool.
yeah, and
Thinking outside the box.
and it's
The
well,
teleprompter
it's the
box.
thing is, I was like, maybe it'll sell, maybe it won't, but I just want one. So I convinced her to bring in a whole bunch, and then I just took one for myself. And these things started selling like crazy. And you can sell them for a really good
Profit
because
margin.
they're really good quality as well. It's one of those products you get from China where it's like, hey, this is actually doesn't feel super Chinese and cheap.
Yeah, that's the
That's
dream.
exactly what you want. So it really sold. But the other thing is you can't get it anywhere in South Africa. It's not just Takealot. You can't.
Did you private label it?
I haven't yet, but I didn't know if it was going to take off.
Well, you should jump quick.
So there's one other person I think that started selling it now, but it's a rubbish like version. It's like a fabric. The box itself is fabric that goes over, and it's kind of crap. Ours is more expensive, but it's much better quality, and
Yeah,
it started selling. It's doing really really well. And it's like a higher ticket item. And then
yeah.
obviously I have that thing that cleans computers and stuff, and that still sells like
The
crazy.
fan.
My biggest product by far.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
still have it.
yeah. Well, the thing is, I mean, some of them. The thing is, the build quality is not necessarily great. So, quite a few of them break.
Did you tell your supplier?
I did, but yeah. I think I don't know what he
Doesn't care.
did. Yeah, I don't think he really cares. But the ones that do sell make up for it, and it's a really great product. How do you go about finding products that are really really good that sell like that?
I don't want to give away too much trade
But
secrets.
like
Yeah.
for me, it's just like stuff that I want.
Yeah,
And
that's how I started on
and it's
Takealot.
stuff for like content creation as well. So I got like a whole bunch of like camera like accessories that I just couldn't find.
Yeah, I
And-
mean, if it's something that you have a little bit of a liking to, or
Mm,
then you start seeing stuff that you need in
Yeah.
that area, and then you like, oh, cool, I can also sell it.
yeah,
Because
exactly.
if I have a need for it, then other people will also have
Yeah.
a need for it. So that's how I also started on Takealot. I wanted something,
Yeah,
wasn't there, and I put it onto Takealot.
yeah. But I
And
find
did
that
well.
those products are the ones that really sell the best. Like the ones that you know you want and you're passionate about them. I don't know.
Yes,
It's just
yes.
like it's interesting, and I think that that's kind of what business is about as well. It's about finding a problem
And
that
solving it.
maybe but the problems that you have that other people can relate to, I think something about that just works out.
Does.
It's interesting, and I think it's because you're kind of like authentic about it. It's I don't know how it shows up. It shows through on a Takealot listing, but I guess people are just like,
Do you run ads?
yeah, I do, yeah,
That's probably how.
yeah,
I mean, if they search a keyword that's in your subtitle,
Mm.
then it will pop up on the
Mm.
ad.
True. I think maybe it's just the descriptions that seem,
Yeah.
but I'm not even doing them. But honestly, my girlfriend gets pissed off with me because I'm just like, oh, I want one of these. Let's order like 10 and you can sell them. And she's like, yeah, but now you're gonna take one and you're gonna take out of my profits. I'm like, I want
Just
one.
pay her off of the profit.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I pay for it. It comes out of my side. But she gets pissed off. She's like, nah, I've got one less that I can sell. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, sorry. But there's a lot of products like that. And I think that there's a lot of like there's so many I think the opportunity of doing e-commerce through Takealot is wild. I think and you can start with like fairly little capital if you think about it for a
can.
business that makes a lot like it makes a good percentage of what you invest. But you just have to be willing, and it is quite a lot of work to some degree.
At the start, especially.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
later on,
yeah. But
you
it's
get
also,
a system. You get a system like once a week, you will pack your boxes and send it. Like, say, if you like have 20, 30 products, you're going to be busy like one full day. But the rest of the time, it's quite chilled.
Yeah. Also, I want to talk about your social media journey so far. Okay, so you've had quite a few videos go pretty viral on TikTok. Okay, you've got your vape vending machine. You also had that it was that PlayStation controller with the vape holder.
Did you see it?
Yes, I saw that and I'm like, dude, that's epic.
I just decided to post that because I thought I saw a lot of people go viral doing something controversial.
Yes, yeah.
So I was like, why not do a controversial video
Yeah.
like this? Because I knew it was going to be 50-50. People are going to hate it and people are going to love it.
Yeah.
So I know that type of fight, you would see in the comments, people like fighting each other like, oh, this is so cool. No, this is stupid. And
Yeah.
that stuff, when people comment and share and save, that's when videos go viral because TikTok is pushing it out to more people. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to take this video. I don't care if people are going to hate it or love it.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see how it does. And yeah, it almost got 1 million views just because of it like being an interesting product. And yeah, it's actually someone that I know that sells the product.
Yeah.
So
Does it sell well?
actually need to find out. She said she got sales. So.
Well, I guess she's got some sales now potentially.
Yeah. So but there were a lot of people from the UK and Australia also. Like my analytics said UK was number 1, then Australia, then South Africa.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
So
I guess it resonated with those audiences as well. But that's the thing. As soon as I see people commenting on my content with like negative comments, and quite a few of them,
yeah.
I immediately know this is controversial. I'm going to get a lot of views.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I've started to think of it in a weird way, but it's difficult to put your mindset into that mindset of like dealing with people's negativity. Like, do you get like quite a bit of like negativity on social media?
I
How do
would
you
say
deal
like
with it?
5%
Yeah.
max.
It doesn't like affect you at all.
No, I don't care. I like making videos of the negative comments.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
disproving them because they're
Yeah.
like, no, this is a scam or this is a pyramid scheme or this
Yeah.
is a, and then I like make a video where I prove to them it's not.
Yeah.
And then it feels good because this person
Yeah.
like they're making accusations without proof, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, it makes good content as well. So I love it.
What's your plan for like your whole social media platform? I know most of the stuff you do is around TikTok, but you know TikTok and it's a very fickle thing. Like you've been having struggles lately with like them
Violations.
stopping you for stupid things, like stuff that
Stupid
doesn't
stuff.
make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what's
No,
your
I'm-
plan? Are you looking to also like diversify your social
Yeah, I'm
media?
going into YouTube now.
Mm.
So I'm gonna use YouTube to do shorts and obviously longer tutorials because I'm not gonna make 10-minute videos on TikTok. So I'll use TikTok to push my followers to YouTube to show them actual tutorials on how to do stuff properly instead of just like smaller clips. So yeah, they can go check out my YouTube and then I will do some tutorials on like everything that I do.
I think as well, YouTube really pushes like e-commerce stuff as well. Like I think there's actually a couple of South African e-commerce content creators that have blown up as well. There's one or two guys. You probably know of them. I can't think of them offhand, but I watched quite a few of their
Yeah, I
stuff.
see some of them as well. I just can't remember their names.
But I saw your I saw some of your stuff on YouTube. So I saw the shorts you posted on YouTube,
Did
and
you
a
see
lot
it?
of them have done freaking well.
Yeah, 2K views. I don't know if that's good for shorts.
That's very good because I mean I get roughly that. I get
Oh.
between 2 and I mean if a video does really well, it's like 7 or 8K. But generally I get around 2,000-3,000
Okay.
views.
I'm just gonna consistently push shorts.
Shorts are brilliant. Yeah, YouTube shorts are brilliant.
Sometimes it takes like 2 weeks. I've seen on other YouTube videos that it takes like 2-3 weeks before a video maybe goes like viral for the second time.
Yes, but I don't know. I think YouTube Shorts is definitely popping off compared to like Instagram is so slow.
Yeah, Instagram's
I
slow.
mean, and the thing is, there's so much competition to have high, overly saturated, like really high quality edits done on your videos.
Yeah.
It's like, and I think that's where TikTok kind of shines. You can be kind of like informal about it. You can just do
But
it.
that's what does well is the informal side.
Exactly.
It's not too edited. It's not too fake.
Yeah, exactly.
It looks
It's
like
authentic.
a real talk
Yeah.
between you and the person. You know?
Exactly. It's not so stuff's being cut out and you know that you're getting the whole kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can throw like a filter or something or do some funny background thing, but you know you're pretty much getting exactly what was said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
So like you said, in terms of you would suggest somebody getting into like the social media space to begin with if they had nothing,
Yes.
and then sort of going into like an affiliate marketing kind of vibe.
Yeah, that's if you have nothing and you have time.
Yeah, I think it's a brilliant idea. The thing is, it is kind of a risk that you're taking. Perhaps it won't work out, but I think if you stick at it, you'll figure out a way to make it work.
Yeah, you just need to find your own creative spark, your own method of conveying information, and then just stick with it.
What was the first moment on your TikTok where you
Wow.
realized this could be something that this should be something that I spend more time building? Like, was there like any point where you're like, oh, this could actually do well? Like,
I think when I reached like 5,000 followers and I was speaking about like Takealot and Uber cars and stuff, and I saw people actually being interested in it. I thought, wow, I can just continue this, teach people, and get a following out of it.
What
you
was
know?
your first video that sort of took off?
I think my most viewed video was the Uber car one.
Why do you
It
think?
was
Why do you think people liked it so much?
because it was weird. It was new. No one knew about it.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's actually how I found you as well. I think I saw that video and I was like,
Yeah, I think it
whoa,
was
this
that
is a
one.
good investment. I think I messaged you and I was like, whoa, how did you? I asked you more questions and stuff. And then I saw you doing Takealot and stuff as well. So yeah, I ended up doing all of those different things.
I didn't post a lot about trading because of TikTok's weird rules.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it was one of those ones. Yeah.
Yeah. My videos on Takealot about, on TikTok about trading really do badly.
You have to like go from a certain angle.
Yeah.
You shouldn't show profits and you shouldn't show brokers and stuff.
Yeah.
You should just talk about.
But I mean, I never do anyway. I mean, it's literally just charts. But anyway, yeah, the Chinese are weird. The Chinese TikTok algorithm's a little bit strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that it's weird because they will ban you for certain really stupid things, and I think.
But I
there's a
mean,
lot of
there's like naked people on TikTok that's not getting banned, but
yeah.
our trading talk gets banned.
Yeah, yeah, it's weird. And I mean, like the one time I had a beer on a live stream and my whole thing got like taken down. I'm like, dude,
Alcohol abuse.
seriously? It's like, seriously, like they could have just been like I don't know, like something on fire behind me and they'd be like, smoking is bad for you.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool, great. But yeah, thank you very much, Hanre, for
Thanks,
coming
it was
through.
great.
We had a really great conversation. I think we could just talk for like
Yeah, all
17
day.
hours. But yeah, I really appreciate. I think a lot of people got a lot of information out of
Yeah,
it. So thank you
definitely.
very much, brother.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So to everybody who's watching, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you learned a lot from that conversation. I know I certainly did. So if you really like this video, please do subscribe down below, and then if you want to ask about future videos and what you want to see in those, subscribe and also comment as well. And then I will see you in future podcasts. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.